And we're back. We're working on the texturing of the buildings. Going to actually get some texturing done this time. Get everything marked out like we do here in Inkscape. Choose some basic colors to go along. And I'm not making this overly artistic or realistic for that matter either. So I'm not going to be doing crazy amounts of work on this. It's just a quick and more or less dirty texturing job. You will see what I mean when we get to the next phase of this. Right now we are just blocking everything out so that we can then go on to the next part. Get everything outlined here, and on this one I've got to be careful because I don't want to go into the texture area of the one right next to it. I do manage to make it work. Just slowly and cautiously keep things moving here. Keep the general feel of the shape, but not worry about making it exact. Now that we have all three of these, they will all get the lighter shades of the same color. That way we know when we move into the next part of texturing exactly what parts connect with what, as far as roof, walls, in this case the silo, doors and windows. Do the walls here for the main building. In other words, the house. We've already done the sides of the silo. Now for the chimney, right here. that's done, now we can assign a color to this. Real soon. I'm trying to decide if I wanted to add something else to it or not, but I guess not. Go ahead and assign a color. Now we're on to the other parts of the roof. Not roof, chimney. Going to need to add in a node or two. Get it moved around where it fits the shape more. There we go. Next up, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do these two. Because this is the entryway for the silo. I guess just doing it as a block all of its own. That'll work. Get the doors and windows. I don't like it when my tools are not working with me. Maybe if I zoom in, it'll make it easier. Much better. So there's doors and windows. Now I need to assign a color. Well, these aren't all the doors and windows. These are the windowsill. Kind of space. Now the doors. And the windows. And lastly, we have the parts that no one will hopefully ever see, because these are the bottom of the models, which are supposed to be sunk into the ground a little bit. So we'll just go black for those. So now we've got our file ready to save. Pretty sure we're ready to save it. Because I think I want to bring this into another editing program to actually do the rest of the work. Alright, so here we go, using the GIMP program. also known as the GNU Image Manipulation Program. That's where the acronym comes from for this program. Just need to figure out how I'm going to attack what part first. Back in Blender, we can verify that everything's lining up like it should using the image. Just want to be sure everything's going to line up right before I put too much work into actually doing everything. So there's the starting point. Need to get to the end point though, and that means going back into the other program. I can layer the two programs in a way that allows me to see what I'm working on in Blender while actually doing image work here in the GIMP. Let's use a blur effect. Though I think before, I feel I'm going to need to do something else. I do feel I'm not remembering exactly what it is. Let's see. Ah yes, it needs some noise. Now if I do a blur effect, I need to redo this. I mean, it's giving the effect I want it to have, but it's going to be kind of hard to see. You can sort of see it. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to, like I said earlier, I'm not going to stress too much over these models. But we could probably do better. This way. Let's see how this looks. Much better. Okay. Now I know what I'm doing, and if I smooth everything, yes, that looks like thatch. that's what I'm going for. Nice to see it's working out. Now to the next one. Have to remember these steps that I took. Start with this shade, I think. And we'll go ahead and do the other one there too. Now, change this one to black and do a blur. And that probably is not going to work out the way I want it to. We'll probably need to go back in and edit it a little bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not going to work. The position of the center of the blur is important. Kind of want it to be right in the middle of the piece. So that might do it. Yeah, that's better. I think that's workable. I think. Even though I say I'm not doing a whole lot of work on this, that it's going to be a quick texturing, I still have my own personal level of quality that I want to have in all of my models. And sometimes that just cannot be helped but to give it a bit more effort. Yeah, it probably needs to move over a little bit more. Okay, that will probably do it. That's better at least. Alright, time for the last one. Add some noise. Now run the blur. This one, the center of the blur needs to be right at that point. Pretty much like that. Go ahead and export. Now bring it into the model. And there we go. 3 thatches. 3 thatched roofs, I should say. Now for the next difficult piece is going to be the chimney. Let's get a decent looking color. And now I would like to put some, maybe 1 or 2 little bricks. So there's a brick. We'll put one down here. Maybe another 2 over on this area. Now, go ahead and get that bottom part filled in as well. And there we go. I kind of want the bricks facing the front of the building, so they're more noticeable as the character is approaching. And this is something that needs to be really taken into consideration when building a game, is what level of quality are we going for? So I am now checking to see where they are on the map and getting an idea of where they need to be. All right. Move these over. And do I want to try a border or a bevel effect? Give it a try. No, that seemed to have only affected the overall image, not the selection. Alright. And while I think this does work, you're going to have to be too close to it for it to be viable. So scratch that. If it was a more detailed project, I would probably 3D the bricks in. But I'm not going to worry with it that much. These will just slide over. Let's try putting those on the others. Now let's see how this looks. Well, before we do that, let's see about finishing something else here. The door and window frames. Let's give them that color. The doors, give them a darker color, but not entirely black. And the same for the windows. Now let's try for a wood beam here for the exterior walls. Should have done those on the, made sure they were done on the other map, or on the other image layer. need to do it on a completely new layer. There we go. That'll do it. Just kind of offset each section here. Now I want to merge the three into one there so that I can now move the entire copy and move the entire piece down. And just keep carrying this all the way down the wall. I think I'll flatten everything again. Now we've got a bigger block to copy and move. Keep going here a little bit more, and we will have this done. There we go. Go ahead and flatten them all one more time. Now let's take care of these by deleting them because we don't need them. And now we can copy it over to the other wall section. And this one's going to need them stretched out a little bit. Let's see, I don't think we want them linked like that. Just want it to reach left and right all the way on there. A little bit more. There we go. And last area here. Let's give this a kind of a gray metal look to it. Although probably doing it in the actual, there we go, actual main layer would be a good idea. So now let's load the image back in. There we go. I say we got ourselves a decent looking model. So now let's add in a light that'll actually kind of do the model justice. I'm hoping at least. No. Oh well. Here we go. Hey there everyone. Just wanted to thank you all for watching this video. And if you did enjoy it, remember to give me a like and to subscribe if you are so inclined. Also, I do have a Patreon. The links are in the description below. You can have your name in the credits here as well.